And here we go. I'm going to share. Okay, everybody should be able to see the title slide here, the window of opportunity event. Today really is a window of opportunity. The market, I seem to read every day in the paper, and I'm sure all of you, that the home price values are staying at record highs, interest rates are at record lows, and inventory is at record lows of resale homes. This is really important for you to know in your buying journey and helping you to make the move and really maximize your success in a market like this. So without further ado, we're going to introduce everybody. I'm Kirsten, the Director of Marketing for Cornerstone Homes. I run all of the Concierge events for us. This is part of our Concierge program, which is broader. And today we just have a select panelist group with you to bring you some really key information about the timely information that's available today. Greg Cowart is with NFM Lending. He'll be speaking today as our preferred lender. We do have a group of lenders. Greg is representing them today for everyone, and we'll be speaking to you about that process and how that can help you in an environment like today. Erin Hungerford is with Long & Foster. She's our preferred realtor panelist today. She works with our team at Chickahominy Falls and is in the Richmond market, but representing really the greater Virginia, Central Virginia housing market and showing us what is available and what's going on. And then last we have Allison Pedlow with Home Matters of Virginia. She's our right sizing specialist. She helps make sure that there's peace of mind with your move and all of those chores of getting rid of items and getting your home ready for sale, and then the actual move process and everything, making that really smooth and easy for you so that it's less stressful. So again, today we're giving you a focused event for our Concierge program to make sure that you can take advantage of the current window of opportunity provided to you in this current resale market in Central Virginia. And without further ado, I'm going to be moderating, and we've got Greg Cowart with the Cowart team that will be answering now. And Greg, can you tell us a little bit about your team and what makes your team different than many of the other lending programs out there?
Yeah, happy to. First of all, let's make sure technology's working. Kirsten, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Thank you.
Okay, great. Just want to be sure. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Greg. I am a mortgage lender. I run a mortgage office on Willow Lawn Drive. I have been helping families buy homes in Richmond for about 18 years now. Used to be in the school system and switched over to this career and really enjoy guiding people through the process. The question was, what makes us different? And first of all, thanks everybody for attending. All mortgage lenders, and there's really two that Stylecraft has on their concierge team. It's myself and Joe Dunn with George Mason Mortgage. What's that?
Cornerstone. You work with Stylecraft too, but we're...
Oh, I said the wrong. I apologize. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. You work with a lot of new home construction, and you really.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk. I'll talk about that in just a second. But the two lenders on Cornerstone's panel is myself, and I'm representing Joe Dunn with George Mason as well. So both of us have been in the market for quite some time, working with Richmond families, and we both have years and years of experience. So the first thing that probably makes us different, Kirsten, to answer your question, is just the years of experience, and whether you're making pots or doing accounting, the longer you do something, the more you've seen things and the more you can help provide good guidance to get someone through the process. Second, yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Second, I was going to say I have a team. You'll see a picture of my team here in front of you, and there's 6 of us. We work very closely, leaving voicemails, not getting responses. These are not things which make people happy in the emotional home buying process. So through using a team, we're right there the whole way through. I also wanted to mention that both Joe and I do a lot of new construction, like just came up. We work with a lot of the builders in our area. Love working with Cornerstone, but new construction has a different rhythm. It's much longer. It has different words, and we're talking to Cornerstone constantly, along with a realtor like Aaron, to be sure that we're all working together to make the process easier for you. And then finally, I run my own branch. We're very small. I found that the smaller I get, the more I can help clients. I work with a company that lets me run my own branch the way I want to run it, hire who I want to run. So you're not going to get that big bank feel. We all use cell phones. There's pretty much someone always on call, even on the weekends. So the team approach and the fact we're small should lead to better customer service. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, great. And that's important that you're, a concierge partner, and all of our concierge lenders, including those up in the Fredericksburg market with Atlantic Coast Mortgage. Everybody is part of our team, and so we work really closely together to ensure the success and that there's wide open communication between all those details that are really important when it comes to closing on your new home. So with that, let's talk a little bit about buy now and sell later. So many of our home buyers have a house to sell, and they're maybe anxious about having to sell or buy without having sold their home first. And I understand that there's a program out there that you offer that helps navigate that. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, happy to. Cornerstone specializes in over 55 communities, and therefore most of the home buyers own a home. And one of the decisions that creates a lot of anxiety is, how do I time all this to get out of my house and into the next house? So as a new construction lender, we can walk you through really the three choices you have. First, some families choose to move twice, is what I call it, which is selling now, going in a different living situation until the home is ready, and then moving into the home. So that's one choice, which is move twice, which is sell now. The second thing we see some families do is they decide to, what I call, time the sale. In other words, I'm going to work with a realtor like Aaron to time when I list my house and make it work so that we pick a buyer that will close on the day that our Cornerstone home is ready. And that sounds a little complicated, but by using a good concierge lender and one of the realtor partners, it's really not that hard. To answer your question, many families do choose to buy now or buy the Cornerstone home first, move into the home, and then to list their home for sale after they've moved in. There's a lot of advantages to this, as you might think. You can move slowly. You can stage your home after you've moved out to get top value. It's a much less stressful process. As a mortgage expert, I'll help you work through how we buy first before we've sold, make sure you can get approved that way, and answer your questions about how to get the money and the payment the way you want it once you sell the house. Kirsten, we may do that by using two mortgages that we stack, and then once you sell, you pay off the second mortgage. There's some special tools called recasting, where once you sell, you just eliminate the majority of the mortgage you owe and get back to the payment you want. But both Joe, myself, and the Atlantic Coast lenders, we're all experts in guiding you through what you want, explaining your options to you so you can make a best choice. And all of a sudden, how to time the move is a lot less scary.
Right. Yeah. And that's really important. And that's kind of the gist of all of this, because we know that this process is really cumbersome, and you probably haven't moved in a long time. Typically, when we host this in person, we talk to everybody and we ask, how long have you lived in your current home? When's the last time you bought a home? And for many of our guests, that number is 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30 years ago. And a lot has changed since then. And we want to make sure that you're with a team of professionals that can help guide you in making this process as smooth as possible. So Greg, the next thing we'd like to talk about is interest rates. Everything I read, oh my gosh, I can't pick up the newspaper without seeing that interest rates are at a record low. What are interest rates going to do? Is this like it was in 2007? Are they, what's going to happen? Can you speak a little bit about the interest rates now and what you're seeing and what's the market is telling us?
Yeah, happy to. Thanks. Of those of you on this call, some of you may have bought homes back in the 80s when interest rates were in double digits. You may remember that. A lower interest rate means a lower payment per month, but also, maybe more importantly, lower interest over the life of the loan. And of course, there'll be some folks who buy and use cash to purchase. That's really common in the Cornerstone experience. However, even if you're buying with cash, selling matters because your home buyers are going to be taking advantage of low interest rates. The Fed is our government's monetary really department, if you will, and they've taken so many decisive actions with the coronavirus, Kirsten, that it's unprecedented how much we have done to prop up the economy economically. And all of these different programs they've come up with, whether it's lowering the prime rate of lending or basically what they've decided to do recently is our government is buying mortgages every day. And I mean, we're talking billions of dollars on a daily basis to be sure there's demand there. And the moment they did that, the mortgage companies really calmed down, and it's very much business as usual. What we have done, it has set in motion some monetary policies, which we believe will keep interest rates in these threes, low threes, mid threes, not only through the end of this year, but also into next year. It's very unprecedented how much how much money we've spent to provide stability to our economy. And it's gonna continue to keep interest rates low for a very long time.
That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, we're going to get back with Greg in the question and answer period, but we're going to move on now to Erin Hungerford with Long and Foster Real Estate. And she has her own team of professionals as well. Erin, if you'll give a shout out and say hello to everybody, please.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I've been with Long and Foster selling real estate. I'm going on 14 years now, been doing this full time. And I love helping families figure out how they're going to get to their next destination. And we really pride ourselves in our team. We really want our customers to have such a great experience because moving is not always that fun, that they want to tell their friends and families. So we try to do whatever we can to help a seller, whether they need to paint, whether they need contractors, anything that we can possibly do to make the process smoother and less stressful is really our goal.
Great. Thanks, Erin. I'm going to skip on to the next slide here. So again, market stats right here, up 5% from last year. I just read something across the country. We're only up 3% home prices, but this stat here on the bottom of this page says the Richmond market and Central Virginia is up 5% from last year. Why don't you speak a little bit about the stats that you've provided for us and kind of what the market looks like?
Well, we all get the news from a national standpoint, I think, and that's usually what we go off of. But I feel like I'm on the ground floor as far as, selling real estate in Richmond. I grew up here. I know the area very well. These are the Richmond real estate stats. So if you hear of, maybe you hear something on the news that things are only up 2 or 3%, this is the data in our local market. And every market is very different. We are actually seeing really low inventory in the Richmond market, which is great if you need to sell your home because there are a lot of buyers out there looking. And you can just see from the stats that I pulled just in the last week, 724 homes went pending. And that's telling us that there is a huge demand, and we're going to start seeing our spring market, which we would have seen a couple months ago, but because of COVID, our spring market has sprung. And I'm even seeing multiple offers in the suburbs, which is a little unusual. So for example, I've seen multiple offers anywhere, 250 to 350 in like the Smoke Tree area, which is a little unusual to see multiple offers. I'm also, just last week, I saw multiple offers over near Virginia Center Commons. So we have a demand for buyers that are looking out there. So if you're looking to sell, it's a great time to get your house ready and get it on the market as soon as you can.
Right. Yeah. The market, there's tons of demand out there and low supply, and the home value prices are just through the roof, like you're saying, with multiple offers. And this is a sample listing from your portfolio that went pending recently. And if you want to speak a little bit about, your experiences with your listings and kind of how you.
Sure. Actually, this house just closed on Monday.
Nice.
What we do is we go meet with the seller who's looking to sell their home, and we want to try to help them sell it just as if, my brother or my sister was selling their home. I'm going to come there. I'm going to give them a list. We're going to work with a stager. Now, these are all just recommendations. So we kind of go room by room of what we feel might need to come out of the home, what we might need to paint to neutralize it, because we want to try to make our homes sell quickly and get top dollar for our sellers. So there is a little bit of a process to getting the home on the market, but we feel like taking that extra step to declutter, to do all those things, just makes you able to sell your home for more money in less time. So that's kind of what we did with this particular property, and what we do with most of them. But we kind of are there to hold your hand every step of the way. So I don't just come there and, tell you all these things you need to do. We make a list. We go room by room. We talk about, are you going to be living here when you sell your home, or would you rather move first? Do we need to set up and stage your home? So every situation is a little different, and every seller has a different comfort level. So it's really kind of what the seller is looking to do and looking to accomplish.
Great. And, with COVID, I think that is a big hang up, Erin. A lot of our buyers and prospects are nervous about putting their home on the market. Can I ask anybody that's not speaking to mute? Let's make sure they're muted. There is a little background noise. Can you speak to the current market and what people are doing in your industry to ensure safety and making sure that people can visit homes safely and or virtually, just like we are today, seeing this meeting that would normally be in person, we're doing virtually. I'm sure you're seeing a lot of that in your marketplace. Can you just kind of speak to what the market is offering and what?
Sure, absolutely. And I will say that every buyer and seller that we work with has a different comfort level, but we do have the processes in place so that even before anyone comes to look at your home, there's instructions on that, what needs to happen when they view your home, whether it's we have a basket with sanitizer or mask are required, all those things are set up in place prior to anyone even coming to your home. But we also do virtual tours of your home. So should someone feel more comfortable or even be an out-of-town buyer, we'll do a 360 virtual tour as well as professional photography so that people can get a real feel for what your home is like before even stepping in the front door. And all that kind of comes in place with trying to just prep your home, because everyone starts their search online these days for the most part, but there are those safety precautions that are there. So we ask that people remove their shoes. We provide booties, we provide hand sanitizer. We ask that sellers just leave their doors open with the lights on if there is a showing. But every seller has a different if someone has a child with asthma or something, they may not want to have the house shown between certain hours. So whatever your situation is, we work with that, and we make sure that anyone who's showing your home has the instructions prior to their arrival of what needs to happen in case there's some extra precaution, or certain times that the home can't be shown because of someone who's living in the house that might be more sensitive to getting COVID, or something like that.
Great. I appreciate your sharing that with us. And similarly, we do the same in our communities with our model homes and our sales offices, and have set protocol for visiting and that sort of thing, making sure that our guests are safe. So that's great. And I appreciate it. And Erin, we will get back to you in the question period. I'm going to scoot on. Allison Pedlow is with Home Matters of Virginia. She is our right sizing specialist and works in the Richmond market. She's the preferred mover here in our concierge mover. We do have one in Fredericksburg as well that works with those customers. And also they work together, because oftentimes we have people moving from the areas, and they have worked together with home buyers. So Allison, if you'll speak a little bit about you and your business and kind of your relationship with us, that'd be great.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for attending today. I'm Allison, and I've been in business for about 8 years now, and I just love what I do. Love helping people move, love organizing, planning events. So this is right up my alley. We offer a variety of services which you can pick and choose from. We do any or all of them for you. We can first help you declutter and sort through your items to figure out what's going to fit in the house. And of course, most people can't take everything that they have in their current home into their new home. So we can help with that. Sometimes you just need that focus. We also pack. We provide all the packing materials. We work with several movers in town, so we supervise the move process, and we unpack you and get you settled in on move day. So the next morning when you wake up, you're not waking up to a sea of boxes all over the home and stress. So we have your kitchen organized, we have your bathroom set up, we have your beds made that night before. I mean, we just really make it a home as much as we can on move day. Then a big thing is there's a need for clearing out the home for the items that you don't take with you. So we can either donate or sell online items for you that have value, but we can certainly make sure that the home is cleared out and ready for closing. And one thing I didn't mention is we can certainly help with, during the declutter process, we work with realtors, Erin, anybody in our concierge program that towards decluttering and getting the house ready for the market. So we know what we kind of what our marching orders are, what they'd like the rooms to look like. And so we go through and help that process. So we're just trying to take as much physical stress off of the homeowner, and also emotional stress, because of course that is part of it.
Absolutely. And Allison, that's so true. And the emotional piece, I feel like, is even more important, because it's the boxes of photos and the, the old high school albums and all the things that have meant so much to you. And some of which, are your kids' things, but they don't really want them. And it's trying to figure out what to do with all of that and how to get rid of it or minimize what you take and really just take the special things. So I know you have some tips for us and our guests here on how to get started. And if you want to go ahead and go over this.
So today is a perfect day to start the decluttering process. One, it's raining, and two, it's never too soon to start the process. As many of us know, it's hard to go through drawers and shelves and closets and just dig in and make those tough decisions about what to give away and find a new home for. So I would suggest that when you do start the process, that you start in small chunks. Take a couple of drawers at a time versus the whole piece of furniture, because one, you'll feel successful if you get through those 2 drawers, and then you might want to do more. But if you take out everything out of all the drawers and you don't get to it, you feel like, oh, I can't do this. So it's kind of disheartening. So I would start small, and I would set up appointments with yourself on calendar and say, from 3 to 5 today, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do these 2 drawers, and be done with it. And then the next day, or the next day, however you want to do it, you'll see how much stamina you have, and how you want to approach the future appointments with yourself. Also, we can help with that. Like I said, we can help you with sorting. We can help you climbing up into the cabinets in the kitchen and pulling things down. Physically, some people can't do that, and so we can certainly help with that. What?
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I think a lot of people enjoy when you come, not only they're paying for your time, so that time is more valuable to them, and they're less apt to go run and grab a phone call, or, go and be distracted by something, so that when you're there and your team of experts, they're really focused and you get a lot of work done. So
yes,
that's helpful.
Yes, exactly.
A couple more tips on there you wanted to reach out.
Yeah. So just when you get into your clothes closets, I myself am, I guess I'm prone to doing this. I keep clothes probably too long. The what if factor always enters in. So I suggest really make it a mark. Have I worn it in the last 2 years? If I haven't, get rid of it. If it doesn't fit, get rid of it. You may not make it into that size again, just because when you're moving, you're paying for those things to move. And if you're not going to wear it, why pay for it? And why have it take up room in your new closet? Also, when you're thinking about furniture fitting, the big thing is the size of the piece. Is it going to fit in the area you'd like it to go? But if you have choices, make sure you think about storage in those pieces, because that's really going to be important to you, not just the beauty of the piece, but the function of the piece. And that's really as far as tips go right now.
That's great. Thanks, Allison. I appreciate your sharing that with us. And it really is an important piece to all of this puzzle, our right sizing team to come and really provide that peace of mind to everybody. It's really an overwhelming task, and we know that, and that's why you are such an important part to our concierge program. And just because of that, I'm going to skip over real quickly. So everybody that's attending today that chooses to buy a Cornerstone home will receive a $250 credit towards our right sizing specialist. So that is 5 free hours of their time. And I know that this is going to be a really important piece, and really get you on your journey. So with that, I'm going to shoot back to our questions, and I'm going to stop sharing. And if you have questions, feel free to just unmute yourself and speak up. If somebody else that's part of our team thinks we missed something that we want to share with, please do reach out. If you want to put it in the chat, we can look there. I don't currently see anything in the chat. Does anybody have any questions or would like to know more about any part of what we spoke about today? Well, I know we couldn't possibly have covered it all. And what we'll do is your sales manager or a sales manager, if you didn't identify a specific community, will be reaching out to you to follow up on today's event and make sure that any questions that you have. Oh, I see one coming in from Diana Artemis, I believe. I'm in selling my existing home. Do you stage the homes, and what is the cost or formula for calculating the staging cost? So Alice or Erin, why don't you go ahead and answer that one? Because typically,
yeah, sure. It's a little different for every seller, depending on if you're moving everything out or you're going to leave some things there. So depending on if you're planning to live in the home would be treated a little different than as if you were not being in the home. So we can bring furniture in, we can use your furniture. It really just is a case-by-case basis on what your situation is and what you're comfortable doing. Is if we completely stage the home with furniture that I have on my team, or if we use some of yours and kind of mix it together. So it's really a case-by-case basis. But I really do believe in staging, because I feel like it really makes your home show the best it can show by making it easy for buyers to maybe walk through your living room to get to your patio out back, but you have a sofa in front of that door right now. So really, it's just a conversation. We need to come out there, take a look, and we'll give you kind of like what we recommend, and then we kind of come up with a plan together from there.
And I just wanted to follow up with that. You know, the initial consult for the stager is always free and included with the realtor. And then depending on what is required and what everybody believes is necessary to get the home on the market, and what the buyer is or the seller is comfortable with, you know, then the costs come into play. So it really is a case-by-case basis, as Erin was saying. And really what you're comfortable with. I know we all think our homes look beautiful, but there's a lot of things there that we see that others don't. And I once heard somebody say, you know, go around and take pictures of your house now. And when you look at those pictures, what do you think? Because really that's what people are doing when they come to look at your homes. They're not, and they, even before COVID, they weren't coming to your home first. They were going online, and we want your home to photograph well and to videograph well. So that is why, you know, the staging is such an important part of that. And if you have more specific questions about that, we can, you know, speak with you directly following the event. I'll send a follow-up email as well as your sales managers reaching out.
And also feel free to contact me directly if you want me to come take a look. I'm happy to do that. That is what we are here for as part of the team, to help you.
Great. And we've got another question from Irene Willis. How long from when you see my home will it go on the market, and how to handle pets for showings? Also, do I have to paint my house?
So I will start and say it depends on, it's always going to depend on your situation, but depending on, let's say you're like, hey, Erin, my house is ready. I painted it. It's ready to go on the market tomorrow. It does take me a couple days to get your professional photographer lined up, your videographer lined up. So I do need a few days like lead time on my end. The more time I know ahead of time, the better, so I can plan and prepare everything for you. Usually what I do is meet with the seller, kind of go over the market stats for your neighborhood, your area, how things quickly are selling. Can also depend on the location, the neighborhood, the community, the amenities that are there. So it's really, I hate to keep saying it's a case-by-case basis, but it kind of is, because everyone's situation is unique and where they live is different. As far as handling pets for showings, we would go over that as well, depending on how many pets you have. If you have an animal that can't be home, we would have to just coordinate how we're going to handle showings, because we definitely don't want you to have a large dog in the home if someone's coming to see it. We would need to make arrangements for how we're going to handle that. And that's where I think someone was saying sometimes it's easier if you have the means to be able to move into your new home prior to selling your other ones. Everyone's situation is a little different. So we just sit down and work with you to find out what is going to be the best option for you as far as showings go, pets go, getting the house ready for the market. And also you had asked about painting your home. Well, that's going to also depend. If you have, you know, a bright pink room in your home, it's probably not going to appeal to the masses. So I'd probably recommend that you neutralize that color. We've got painters and contractors that can, you know, get to your house pretty quickly. So if you need any help with coordinating that, we're here to help you with that as well.
And I just want to speak about that a little bit. You know, as part of the Concierge team, our buyers or our people that use our preferred lenders receive a savings in commission that goes out. Typically in a real estate transaction, there's 6% sales commission. And with our preferred customers and our concierge program, you as the seller would only pay 4%. And that it can be a significant savings. So if you were to think about a $600,000 or a $300,000 home, that can be $6,000. And so what are you going to do with that $6,000? Well, some people might take that $6,000 to help get their home ready for sale so that they receive top market value. Some might list their home just a little bit less than the neighbor down the street so that it's more appealing. Some might use that towards upgrades and options that they might want in their new home. So, you know, there's always parts and pieces to everything. And really, that's why the concierge program is so important, because they can help you navigate those and decide and help you decide what's best for you and how to manage the transactions. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything for Greg, our lender? Anybody else have anything they want to add? Oh, I'm sorry, what was the part about the 2% savings? Yes, so with Cornerstone Concierge program, when we list your home as part of our concierge program, you only pay 4% sales commission. Unfortunately, I don't have my presentation board like we do in our normal presentation, but I can share when we did this with Chris Martin, we did a Tuesday at 2 video, and I can send that to you, Irene, so you can really see how the savings happens. And 1% is, so the listing agent typically takes 3% and the buyer's agent gets 3%. So that's your 6%. But as our concierge preferred lender or preferred realtor, they only take a 2% commission. So we and Cornerstone Homes pays that additional 1% to our preferred realtor upon the closing of your new home. So that's where that 2% comes into play, and I hope that explains it a little better for you. Anybody else?
I do have a quick question. We are going out Monday to look at one of y'all's communities. If we, you know, like it or whatever and decide to move with this, do I contact you first and say, we want to take advantage of this concierge program? You know, would you steer us in the right direction if I call you first? Or
yes, so all of our sales managers on site, and Craig, you speak up if you want to handle this question better than me, but all of our sales managers understand and know about our concierge program and would be able to offer that to you. You say, I have a home to sell, I'd like to be part of your concierge program, can you put me in touch with the preferred people that are demographically, you know, for my location. I'm not sure where you are specifically, but we do have a group up in the Fredericksburg market, and then we have a group, a varied group here in Richmond as well, depending on where you're looking to purchase your new home.
okay.
Okay, and one more. Will you be having a Zoom tour of your communities? I am in Ohio and would like to see the different areas. Barbara, I'm glad you asked that. As part of the program with I'm gonna mute you, Ms. Screen. Thanks. As part of, and that's okay. As part of this Tuesdays at 2, where we're trying to bring virtual experiences to and live experiences to our prospects and buyers and homeowners and everybody. We have done a few tours of the communities. I would love to know which one you're anxious to see, because I can move that up on my calendar. I'm going to be in at the Cove next week, meeting with Ken Moody on Tuesday, going through some homes that are in framing and rough-in and closer to being finished. So that's kind of our topic next week, but I'm certainly welcome your recommendations, and if there are areas that you'd like to see specifically in a specific community, we can also get a virtual tour set up directly by the sales manager of that community. They would be happy to provide you with that. So if there's specific areas or communities that you'd like to see, please let us know, and we'd be happy to get the sales team to directly handle that, or we can also put it on our calendar. And I also wanted to touch on something, you know, Greg and Joe and Lisa are preferred lenders, and they offer your more traditional lending products. We also have a product called a HECM loan that's available to many of you. And I'd like to go ahead and Neil is on the line. If he would like to just sort of give an explanation about that and what that looks like, just as a different loan product, I'd like to go ahead and open up the floor to him.
Thank you. I didn't really have anything prepared for today, but the HECM loan has been around for something like 50 years. Only the last 10 or so available as a purchase program. Basically what it allows you to do is buy a house and put about half down without a mandatory monthly payment obligation. It's just a low interest loan that doesn't require a monthly payment. Happy to have a conversation. All the sales managers, I think, and sales agents, you know, are aware of the program and how it works. If you have questions, they can put you in touch with me. Happy to run some scenarios and see if it's appropriate or fitting.
Right, and it's a program that's only available to a certain age demographic. So it's not something that every home builder talks about or knows a lot about, but because we're exclusive active adult builders, you know, we know that this is a great product that many of our residents or buyers choose to take a look at. And Neil is an expert in this area and has done them in the state of Virginia for a long time and did the first one with our team at Cornerstone years ago. So please, when you're speaking with your sales manager about the loan process, you know, make sure that you look at all your options and figure out which one is going to be the best fit for you. Let's see. Irene Willis, how do you spell that? HECM, H-E-C-M, and it's an acronym, and I'm not exactly sure what it's an acronym for, but
stands for Home Equity Conversion Mortgage.
Great, great.
I can send you, I have some information I can send out if anybody wants it. Just let me know.
Yep, and we have the list of everybody that's attended today. And any other questions or anything else out there? I do want to give a huge shout out to Greg Cowart. He is on vacation and he was able to be with us today. And I know that's not the most top of your list when you're on vacation to participate in a meeting like this, but we really appreciate everybody's time, our panelists, and of course, all of you that have chosen to come and be with us today on this Zoom call. And I do want to remind you, we will be offering you the $250 certificate towards our right sizing specialist should you choose to move forward with a transaction with Cornerstone Homes. So again, we just really appreciate everybody today. It was a nice rainy day for something like this. We had a great attendance, and I'm really pleased to bring you this virtually. So thanks so much. I appreciate it. We'll end the meeting and we'll follow up via email and phone call. Thank you.
Thanks, Kirsten.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.